Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm the inspirational Andy Murray from WhatCulture. And remember, it was a shoot.
Well, we haven't got time to get into it right now, but moving on. Coming up, the latest on Sami Zayn referencing AEW.
A major independent star turns down AEW.
An update on AJ Styles' injury.
And 2 big WWE expiring contracts.
This is the news.
We are going to kick things off with a little bit of commentary on Raw. Raw was certainly a show that happened.
What were they going to do after Double or Nothing?
Nothing. Yeah. I think a lot of us tuned in expecting either the best show ever as a response to Double or Nothing, or the worst show ever as the wheels finally come off and it just kind of dribbles down into the River Thames. But no, what we got was a Raw. It was okay, it was a bit weird. The first hour, however, was total garbage. So we got some really unwanted rogue chants throughout the night. The first one came during the first hour. It took 53 minutes of this show, by the way, before we got a match. And when we did get a match, it was bloody Shane McMahon versus Lance Anoa'i. It was really terrible, really awful.
Yeah, worth the wait, that wasn't it?
Yeah, thank you for that, guys. So we got a minute and a half of wrestling in the first hour. That drew chants of "This is awful." Obviously, one of the most dreaded chants in the WWE Universe's lexicon. It was very loud, particularly as Shane was applying one of those snug little rest holds that he likes to do. It was really bad. Later in the show, however, we actually got AEW chants. And now the incident that provoked this, we're going to talk about in just a little bit. But AEW chants on a WWE show, very telling. It's almost like this is becoming the new CM Punk.
Well, exactly. AEW chants, we've been there and seen AEW chants before, the Raw after WrestleMania, but that's a very different sort of crowd that you'd expect for a regular Monday Night Raw. But it does seem to be the fact that it's slowly breathing through into the more casual audience. And yeah, people were expecting big things. People were intrigued. A lot of people I've seen on stuff like Reddit Squared Circle said that this is the first time they tuned into Raw for absolutely ages because they wanted to see how they'd respond to Double or Nothing. And yeah, they probably won't be tuning back in again anytime soon.
No, it was like it was an episode of Raw. Like that's all you can say about it. It was okay. It was really terrible at parts, quite good in other parts.
It was their sort of typical 1 week removed from a pay-per-view
100%.
We'll save all the big stuff for the go-home show.
Yeah.
But aside from that, just carry on as normal.
The go home to the go home. And obviously, quality is subjective. If you didn't like Double or Nothing, that's up to you. That's cool, no problem. But the objective impact of the show leaked onto WWE programming last night. People took notice of this thing. There were chants, and, this is probably going to become more and more of a regular occurrence, particularly when AEW get their TV deal in October. I mean, if they produce content that greatly exceeds WWE's, all bets are off. It could really become an absolute mess. It's really quite entertaining viewing.
It really is, especially when WWE's attempt at a shot back at AEW was Sami Zayn mentioning them in an awful, what was it called? The electric chair.
The electric chair. This was crap.
Yeah, Sami Zayn referenced them, which then proceeded to, sparked even more AEW chants. What did you expect, Vince?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's just going to be like, oh, he said, you could have asked me about AEW. That's not a burial.
Yeah.
That's just a legitimate, probably should have said something about that. Yeah. But that sparked AEW chants, and that has now subsequently been removed from all the videos of it on WWE's YouTube channel. So I think they regretted that immediately.
Yeah, this was really dumb, really unfathomably dumb. So there are 2 theories going around today. One is that Sami Zayn went into business for himself when he said that and said, you could have asked me about AEW, and that was the reason that WWE removed it. The other theory, as put to me by the great Michael Hamflett through the house this morning, was that WWE scripted it and then saw how really terribly it came off and went, ugh.
That was their zinger.
Yeah, maybe shouldn't have done that. Cody Rhodes smashed Triple H's throne at Double or Nothing. Now, it was big, it was cheesy, it was silly, but it was boatloads of fun and it sent a message. You would have thought maybe, I don't know, Triple H would have done something wacky. Maybe burn a Stardust outfit or something stupid, something fun, not just AEW.
2 quick things. Number 1, they're still effectively taking a permanent shot at Cody Rhodes because in their alumni section, he's there as Stardust.
Yeah,
of course.
this is true.
And number 2, my prediction for tonight's SmackDown Live is Elias is 100% going to get the word elite in there somewhere.
Oh, God, yeah.
That is what you can expect. But yeah, it didn't work for WWE.
It really didn't work. It didn't come off. It came off silly, stupid, and just kind of if this is the new wrestling war, your zingers have to be a bit more pointed than that, don't they? But we're going to move back over to AEW for a second here, and we're going to talk about Joey Ryan, who is somebody that a lot of people had pegged for an AEW contract. You know, he's good friends with the guys. He's on Being the Elite all the goddamn time.
He was my pick for who Hangman Page was going to face if he wasn't in the Battle Royale.
There you go.
Battle Royale.
There you go. And he was a smart pick as well because he's just free of his Lucha Underground contract. He could have done that. It would have got a big pop from the crowd. Everyone would have been into it. But it looks like he may not be signing for AEW after all. So this is according to SoCalUncensored.com. And no, that is not Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky. It's a website that covers the Californian wrestling scene quite extensively, and that's where Joey Ryan is based. And they say that Joey, according to their sources, has turned down an AEW contract and will be addressing his wrestling future at a bar wrestling show. That's his promotion this Thursday. So, really interesting stuff.
Yeah, intriguing, and almost I think this might be beneficial for AEW, because I think the thing is now is you have these established stars that we've already seen, and Joey Ryan is without question a huge star on the independent scene and would be a great signing for AEW. But almost this might actually work in AEW's favour if, let's say, he goes off and does something else for another 6 months to a year, or as in working for different promotions, and then they bring him in. Like, you don't want to blow your load too soon. You and I both know about that. You want to bring them in at the right time, and if you can stagger those arrivals and stagger that excitement around your product, like everyone's still talking about AEW and Jon Moxley for obvious reasons right now. It's the hottest story in wrestling.
Yeah.
So it might get a little bit lost if they went, oh, Joey Ryan's here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you really do have to stagger these things. You can't just, if you throw them all out at once, you've got nothing left.
Yeah.
Like, what do you pull off after that? What's your big surprise? Is it, some random indie goober that no one's ever heard of?
Or
No.
CM Punk at All Out, which is definitely going to happen.
I mean, yeah, I'm here for that, brother. It's a really tough thing to gauge. Now, obviously, this is just one source and so forth. A lot of other outlets have kind of taken the report and ran with it. So, you should always apply a little Salt Bae with this, a little hint of cynicism with such things as this. But we'll learn more on Thursday when Joey addresses the crowd at Bar Wrestling. Either way, yeah, I'd be very, very surprised if he doesn't end up in AEW at some point. It's just a case of, is it going to happen this year? Is it going to be next? Who knows? Or is he going to go to WWE? Shagger Dave did report that they reached out to him a few months ago. I think that'd be very weird, and it probably wouldn't work all that well.
It'd be 100% what WWE would do, though.
Yeah.
Who can we get? The dick guy.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah. You can't have that toy, AEW. He's mine now.
Yes. Right, moving on, an update on WWE and an injury for AJ Styles. You may have seen it on Monday Night Raw this week. AJ Styles was removed from the Fatal 4-Way elimination match that just became a Fatal 4-Way match because... what bloody hell was that all about? But anyway, he was removed from that match for an injury, and it's been reported by the likes of PW Insider that it's not a work. This is a legitimate injury. He's banged up. No reporting exactly when he'll be back, but there is a reason why they aren't making him wrestle through it. He needs time to recover. Yeah,
that was their exact phrasing as well, wasn't it? He's banged up, whatever the heck that means. They haven't told us what kind of injury, how long, what kind of recovery process he's going to have to go through. It's all very up in the air, but when people like Mike Johnson are reporting stuff like this, you take notice because they're credible sources, obviously. So, yeah, it's kind of a shame because the Rollins match was really great.
Yeah.
AJ on Raw was something a lot of people were looking forward to because he'd been on SmackDown for so long, and now he has a fresh range of possibilities against all kinds of different wrestlers that he hasn't faced in a long, long time. Obviously, like a Rollins rematch would have been something that a lot of people would have been looking forward to later down the line as well. But the silver lining to this cloud, obviously, is that the new number one contender for the Universal title is Baron Corbin, our man. So,
yes. I'm going to kind of copy-paste my response to the thing I always say when people get injured. Look, I'd never wish an injury on anyone. But, having said that, something that can force AJ Styles to have some time away and hopefully maybe disappear from WWE programming, considering how prevalent he's been for the last, say, 18 months, might actually be beneficial for him and for WWE.
Yeah, especially if it's only a couple of months. He can recuperate, he can recover, he can come back, go for a fresh perspective, fresh new angle, maybe turn heel or something, I don't know, something cool. Either way, best of luck in his recovery with whatever ails him, and we'll see him soon, I'm sure.
Please just make Gallows and Anderson stay and do something with them.
Yeah, that'd
It's
be
not
fun.
going to happen, but we can dream.
Yeah, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? We're going to move on. We're going to pivot down from Monday Night Raw to 205 Live. So we have Maria Kanellis being an absolute scamp on Twitter just 14 hours ago, according to my phone. She tweeted out saying that contracts are up in 3 weeks. Just saying. Now, of course, everyone saw this and thought, oh, she must be talking about her WWE contracts, particularly given that her and her husband Mike were reported to have wanted to leave the company earlier this year. They were unhappy. They weren't satisfied with what was going on with them and their characters on 205 Live. Now, Maria has followed up with this. Somebody replied saying, contracts where? And she replied with a quote tweet saying, our gym memberships now.
I'll believe you. Thousands wouldn't.
Yeah, this is something else. I mean, do you take it as a work? Do you take it as a shoot? I don't know. Either way, it's just another sign or another slight hint, even if it's just a joke, of dissent in that locker room.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Mike Kanellis' recovery story, and to be fair, the credit that WWE, the support that they've given him throughout that, is something worth mentioning here. But like you say, they're independent contractors. They are wrestlers. They can control their own destiny to a certain extent. They can be held in their contracts for however long they've signed them for. But once they've expired and their no compete clause has run out, then they're open to go somewhere else. And look, if Double or Nothing has done anything, it's showcased wrestlers who might be angry, disappointed, just frustrated with their position in whatever company they're in. Look, there is an alternative here, and not everyone is going to be able to go to AEW and have an incredible impact. Look, it's going to be an interesting time to be a wrestling fan. But this could be the big catalyst for change. Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's see how many more eyes it opens up. Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions. Don't forget you can send them to us at WhatCulture WWE. First question comes from Greg Alpha, who says, other than the obvious names at Double or Nothing, was there anyone who stood out for you? For him, it was MJF and Brian Pillman Jr. Yeah, great shout on Brian Pillman Jr. with that bleach blonde mullet. We were walking around StarCast doing some bits and bobs for the few days we were there, and every time I glanced around, it was the first thing that caught my eye. That hair is magnificent. It's really tremendous. I've got 3. I'm going to go in order from most obvious to the less obvious, even though we said no obvious ones. Dustin Rhodes, I thought was phenomenal. Selling was next level. Excellent defensive, sympathetic performance. Number 2. Sorry, very quickly, replaced the pint of blood that he lost with a pint of cheese, according to his Twitter, because he just had a massive pizza afterwards. Oh, good. A pint of cheese. I just imagine him necking some cheese whiz. Anyway, number 2, Kylie Ray, I thought was phenomenal in that women's match. And number 3, Lucha's goddamn Saurus. Like, the WhatCulture, when we were watching it in the office here, he was our new favourite wrestler in that Rumble. He was tremendous, choke slamming or powerbombing Joey Janela, whatever it was, through that table to the outside. It's just like a big powerhouse wrestling dinosaur. How could you not love that? Yeah, I love Joey Janela. We caught up with him. There's going to be an interview with me and Joey coming out on the channel very, very soon. But for me, there's only one person that I was talking about, aside from the obvious, the Cody and Dustin and Kenny Omega and Jericho and obviously John Moxley. It was MJF. For me, MJF stole the show. The crowd there were eating out the palm of his hand. Someone tweeted this to us, I think, or maybe left it. It was a comment on what went down from Double or Nothing. MJF is the character that EC3 should be in WWE. Oh, great show. He is the heel that everyone else should aspire to be. And that promo with him, Paige, and of course Bret Hart was really tremendous stuff. Hold on there, Seabiscuit. Really good. Let's talk about horses. Really tremendous. Moving on. Next question comes from Fatima Khan, who says, with WWE advertising Super Showdown as being equivalent to or better than WrestleMania, let's hope it's not longer than, and with Brock already being announced for the show, could they recreate a classic Mania moment by having Lesnar cash in during Rollins versus Corbin? Ooh, yeah, no, I could absolutely see them doing that. I would give the show a bit of juice, a bit of jazz, a bit of pizzazz, a bit of other things that are words that I cannot think of. I think it would spice the show up really well, and it would really eradicate that glorified house show feel that these shows often have. I really hope it doesn't happen, only for the reason of I never want to miss, I feel like they haven't made the most of the Beast Box. Yeah, oh God, that was the best thing on Raw. It was easily the best. Paul Heyman as well, rocking out. In about 3 days. It takes a while with WWE Euroshop and whatever. Me and him wearing Brock Party t-shirts to present the news together. Final question comes from Glenn Harrington, who says, how long before we get a Ricochet and Cesaro tag team? Or do they have to have a best of 7 series which ends 3-3 with a DQ in the decider? Yeah, I can absolutely see them doing that, can't you? Like, they're doing the whole competitive rivalry thing at the moment. They're trading wins back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, the matches so far have been really good. I have
another fantastic match.
Yeah, another banger on Raw. I can imagine that a best of 7 series would be really good. It would certainly appease the let the wrestlers wrestle crowd. I mean, it's kind of a weird pairing, although they are both freak athletes, albeit in different ways. Two bald guys as well with like light facial hair. Yeah, cool.
Get them involved in some sort of US title feud now. Ray's obviously out of the picture. And
yeah, that would work. Maybe they'll run like a little tournament or something. That'd be cool.
I'm in for it. Yeah, hopefully so. I mean, I don't really want Cesaro just shoved into another tag team just because, and same with Ricochet here, I suppose. But if it gives them something to do and gives them more airtime on Monday Night Raw,
yeah,
it's the best thing.
One thing about Cesaro as well is that like a lot of people talk about singles push, and we always say push Cesaro and all that stuff. The guy's one of the all-time great tag wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like, he's phenomenal. Like, look at his list of partners. He has over-delivered with all of them, whether it's Tyson Kidd or Sheamus. And I like both Tyson Kidd and I like Sheamus a lot. But Cesaro, like, in these units, they always look great. They always have good matches. They always come off well, and they're always focused commodities. The guy's a tremendous tag wrestler. So putting him in a tag team isn't necessarily the worst idea. It's just a case of, is Ricochet the right guy, or do we want to see Ricochet as a pushed singles commodity? Let us know.
He hasn't getting a singles push anytime soon, so they might as well put him in the tag.
Yeah, he's a little flippy guy, isn't he?
Exactly, for now. I mean, Vince isn't going to realise things until it smashes him in the face. Right, let's move on to today's and finally, and I want to reference a tweet from someone here who calls himself Michael Hamflet. So, hi to Michael.
Are you sure you've pronounced that?
Big wrestling fan.
Hamfelt. The oldest
Our
man.
very own Michael Hamflet has pointed out a very exciting point, that today marks the day that the Iconics have become the longest reigning women's tag team champions ever. That truly is iconic.
Wow, okay. I mean, that's some record. How many matches have they won since they won those belts?
How many title defenses have they had? Doesn't matter, because I love them. They're great, and they are one of the highlights. Them and Daniel Bryan are the reason why you should watch WWE.com exclusives.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are absolutely fantastic.
They're loads of fun. It's just kind of a crap title reign, but never mind.
Don't think about it too much. Just enjoy them. Got it, and that's it.
It's key to WWE in general, isn't it?
Yeah, there you
Don't think about it.
Try not to think about it too much. Let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you can send us Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE. While you're there, you can follow both of us. You can follow him at
Andy H. Murray. The H stands for humongous.
You can follow me at Adam Wilborn and keep tabs on my ongoing feud, apparently, with Chris Cyborg. You can tweet us all.
Whoa, you are dead, mate.
Please don't hurt me, Chris. I'm a big fan of yours. You can follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.